Welcome everybody to the Pop Show, the Partner of Purpose Show. And you'll see me in just a second, but we've started this new thing where we want to put our flyers up to make sure you guys know what's going on at the beginning of the show. And we also use this for our intermissions. So I'm going to go ahead and take it off. Hopefully, you guys will tune in immediately. I know you've been waiting online. So let me get this off of here and we're going to get started on the Partner of Purpose Show. I'm going to get used to saying that the correct way. My partner here wants me to say it right. How are we going to introduce ourselves? Mr. T.W. Brock.
Let's just go with pop.
Pop?
Because we gotta get pop up. We gotta get popping.
We gotta get it popping.
We gotta get popping with pop.
Okay, so we're gonna go. Welcome to Pop.
There we go.
Welcome to Pop on Real Talk 100 Radio, everybody. This is Pop. If you want to know what Pop is, stick with us for a few minutes. Stick with us for at least 54 minutes. 54 minutes is all it's going to take for us to explain exactly what Pop is. TW, let's kick it off.
Well, see, when you become pop, you become a partner of purpose, and we want you to be a partner of purpose with us. And what is the purpose? The purpose is to bring change. The purpose is to bring accountability. The purpose is to get networking with other organizations so that we can turn smaller organizations into larger, more effective organizations and get popping with pop.
You're looking for accountability. And you know people don't like being held accountable, man. They do not like being held. Mr. Usain Mulak, I hope I'm pronouncing your name right. It's no comment there. Please try to comment again. Thank you for chiming in so early in the news feed here, in the comment feed here, sir. Thank you. You know people don't like being held accountable. And you want accountable people.
Oh, we look here. We want accountability in our government. Okay, if you'll go with me to pop to the website Justice for Brock. Look with me, those of you who are following along. Look with me at Justice for Brock. If you go to the Our Supporter page on Justice for Brock, you'll find that there were hundreds of letters sent to Congress to get the U.S. Justice Department involved in exposing the cover-up, the murder and cover-up of my pop, William B. Brock.
That's Justice for BROCK.com.
That's correct.
Go to justiceforbrock.com. I'm going to get it up here on the screen in just a second. And that will give you all of the background story pretty much for this show. Go to justiceforbrock.com. Go to justiceforbrock.com from your laptops, from your phones, from your computers. Wherever you are, type in Justice for Brock. And that is Mr. Brock's website. I'm going to put it up on the screen for you momentarily. If you want to go now, you want to go later, it does not matter. Justice for Brock, right there on the screen, everybody. Welcome to Pop. This is Pop, and we're reaching out into the community because we want other members of the community to become Pops just like we are. And I was prompted to put on my hat, and I forgot my hat. Where did I put my hat at? He has a Pop hat on right here. POP stands for Partners of Purpose. I put it on the screen. I will put it back on the screen momentarily. But POP is what we're looking for. We want to get it popping in each and every one of our communities. What does getting it popping mean, Malcolm? Getting it popping means to affect change in all of our communities. Affect the changes that you want to see in your communities. TW.
And becoming a part of affecting that change. Okay. oftentimes we go to our community leaders and we go to we look to the pastors, we look to Congress, we look to the Senate, we look to everyone else to affect that change instead of looking at ourselves. How can we become a part of bringing that change to its fruition? Okay, one, by getting involved. Okay, if how often are we actually meeting with our politicians to ask them what are the strategies that they have?
Not much at all.
I don't even know when's the last time we asked our mayor what are your strategies for inviting the public to become a part of stopping this gun violence in our community? How often are we working with our police force, with our police detectives, with the leaders on the police force to ask them for what are some of the strategies that they will consider that we have to bring to the table?
When's the last time I've been there? I'm going to answer for you for myself. I have never been. Never.
Wow.
So I need to be held accountable.
There we go.
In my own community, I call myself a community leader. I need to show up and I need to show out. I need to get it popping at one of these community rallies. I've often told myself, I've often told other community leaders that I was going to show up. I just haven't pulled the trigger yet. You already know what we go through here at the radio station, and I just have not gotten the time to go over there yet.
Yeah.
I'm going to make the time.
There we go.
I promise you, I'm going to make the time.
Well, there's 168 hours in everybody's week. 168 hours a week. If we all committed an hour a week to investing in making a difference in our community, if we all invested an hour a week in fellowshipping with the worst thugs in our neighborhoods, and find out from them what are some of the things that they like to see different. How would they be willing to work with us to help us clean up our own neighborhoods?
You think the thugs are going to be willing?
I do. I do, because it's all in our approach. You see, oftentimes when we approach from the perspective you need to. One thing I learned from a book I read some years ago, I believe it was The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I believe, but I'm not 100% sure. I read it in a book that the word "you" is an accusatory word.
Okay.
And I know that, you know, I actually took the guy at his word, and I sat in church one day, and as the preacher was preaching, you need to trust God, you need to believe in Him, you. I was sitting in the pews thinking, get this. I was sitting in the pews thinking, you need to trust Him. You're no different than me.
Right.
I felt the accusation.
Okay.
I felt the you know, who the hell is this dude talking to me? He don't even know my story.
I follow you.
You follow me? But watch this. He said in the book that we need to own our feelings.
Right.
Okay. So and in the book they were talking. I was reading about relationships.
Yes, sir.
And in the relationship, he gave the example. If the spouse or the girlfriend or the partner says, you know, what the hell is your problem? It tears down communication. But if we own our feelings, you know, honey, I love you with all my heart and soul, and it devastates me when this is done in our relationship.
Right.
So what if we went to our thugs and said, you know what, it's devastating to me when I watch our community be torn down and destroyed, but I'd like to work with you. How can we work together to bring change into our community? What if we approach them from that perspective? What if we share with some of the mightiest thugs in the community that their opinion means something?
What the first thing I would probably take personally
Mm-hmm.
is calling me a thug. Do you
Okay.
think we need to change that
Well, when
term?
I think that when addressing it here on the radio, you're absolutely right. So what if we those who are considered thugs?
Okay,
Okay.
there you go. There you
Okay.
go. There you go. There you go.
Because watch this. I know there was a time in my life where I was a thug,
Right.
but it's all about approach. It's all about approach. And if you know, when I got saved, I was actually a thug. I was a knucklehead in the streets.
Knuckleheads.
You know, you couldn't tell me anything.
Nothing.
You know, if you came at me the wrong way, you know, I carried a gun back in my days. You know, I acted like a straight fool. But the gentleman who saw me, who wanted to be a part of bringing change to my life, he kept coming to me and said, "Aren't you Bird's nephew?" "Yep, I sure am." "You know, when you coming back to church?" "Church? Maybe get out my face, that church crap. I don't hear about no church." "Another time, church." "Look here, man, we cool, but I don't hear nothing about no church." "Another time, church." I said, "Look here, the next time you say something to me about church, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head. We understand each other? I don't hear nothing about no church."
Ooh, it was like that, TW.
It was like that. So then he changed his approach. He came to me one day. He called me over to the car, and I actually had my hand on my gun because I'm a man of my word.
Mm-hmm.
If I say I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna do it. So I walk over to the car, and I said, "What's up, man? You gonna say something about church?" He said, "No, actually, I was gonna ask you. You want to go to dinner?" I said, "You buying?" He said, "Yep." I said, "Let's go." We went to dinner. We hung out. We kicked it. He didn't say anything about church. He asked me about, you know, what was I up to, and what are some of the things that I wanted to see done, and you know, things like that. But he didn't say anything about church. When he came back around to my set where he dropped me off,
Yes, sir.
he said, when I went to get out the car, he grabbed my arm and he prayed for me.
Awesome.
I mean, that was deep. When I got out the car and I went back to acting a fool in the streets.
You know why he prayed for you, right?
Because he knew that I had potential.
No, because you didn't shoot him. Thank the Lord you didn't shoot me. You don't think so?
Nah. I think it's more about the potential piece. I think he saw the light that God placed in me.
All right. Yeah.
Then he comes back around my set one day while he was picking up for some folk or dropping off some folk, and he said, "You want to go to my house for breakfast?" I said, "Yeah." So we go to his house for breakfast, and his wife said, "What you doing that thug in my house?" And he actually put her in her place right there in front of me. "Don't you ever address my company that way."
Oh, there you go. There you go.
And that made me feel valued and valuable. That this man actually cared enough to step it up a notch.
Yes, sir.
You know.
Yes, sir.
And
yes, sir.
When he would go overseas, because when he would go overseas because he had his own gospel group.
Yes, sir.
And when they would go overseas, he would call me over from overseas. That was way back in the day before they had all these cell phones and networking. And back in those days, it was expensive to call folk from overseas.
Yes, sir.
But he would call and check on me. And then he changed his approach. He came back one day. He said, "Want to go to church?" Now I felt obligated.
Right. Obligated.
Obligated.
There you go. There you go. We see you guys tuning in. Y'all tuning in. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in to P.O.P. This is P.O.P. Partners of Purpose, and we're reaching out today into the communities of Houston, Texas, and the greater surrounding areas. Eventually, it'll be all 50 states, but right now we're concentrating on Houston and the greater surrounding areas because we want members of our community. We also want leaders of our communities to become P.O.Ps with us. What is a P.O.P, Malcolm? What is a P.O.P, stranger? To those of you who don't even know who Malcolm is, I'm Malcolm, and this is T.W. Brock, the founder of P.O.P. P.O.P stands for Partners of Purpose. What do Partners of Purpose do together? Partners of Purpose affect change in our communities. No matter what the change might be, whether it's you want to see change in law enforcement, you want to see change in the potholes in the streets that our tax money is supposed to fix and they never get fixed. You want to see 290 finally fixed. It's been in construction, under construction for probably 20 years now. I'm probably exaggerating, but you get the point. Whether your problem is, crime, whether your problem is the problem with HISD schools or KISD schools or whatever your problem is, if you would like to be a POP, Partners of Purpose, get together with us, get together with Real Talk 100 Radio, get together with Partners of Purpose. The first thing you need to do, please go and follow our page at Partners of Purpose on Facebook. Partners of Purpose on Facebook. Let's all be the change we want to see in our respective communities. Whether you're on the south side, whether you're in Missouri City, whether you're on the southwest side, whether you're in Pasadena, Kemah, it does not matter where you are. Conroe, Cypress, Tomball, Magnolia, the Woodlands, does not matter. Humboldt, Atascocita, the greater surrounding areas, and Houston included especially, you can become a POP today. And we're going to explain today how to become a POP right now. How do you become a POP? How do I, if I'm listening to T.W. Brock right now, and then Malcolm Jackson, one of the owners of Real Talk 100 Radio, and I'm really interested in becoming a change. I want to be the change in my community that I want to see every day. But how do I reach you guys?
Well, at current, you can reach us at you can reach us toll free at 833 Do It for POP. That's 833 Do It, the number 4 POP. P.O.P. And share your ideas with us. Reach me personally directly at T.W. Brock on Facebook. Share your ideas with me because I don't know it all. If you have some ideas you'd like to bring to the table, if you have some things you'd like to conquer, then let's learn together. But give us a call. Drop us a buzz here at realtalk100.com. Share with us that you'd like to become a POP, and we're putting those steps in place to at the moment because we're as Malcolm said, we're founding a new organization and we're putting it together step by step. So we haven't solidified everything just yet, but within a month, we will have it solidified for how you can become a POP and how your ideas and your some of the things that you'd like to see conquered will be conquered together as we become partners of purpose together.
That's right. We're in the fetal stages of forming this thing. Like they say, it's never the ideal time to start something. And, when we started it, everything wasn't put together on the vehicle. Right now we're still missing. We got gas in the car, but we don't have a gas cap on the car. So some of our gas is probably leaking out through via fumes, excuse me. But we're going to get a gas cap on there is what we're trying to say. We're going to have a fully operational engine, and we want you to be a cog in the engine if you want to see change. Any change in the community. Within the community, we don't care if it's the Hispanic community, the African-American community, the Caucasian community, the Muslim community. We don't care if it's the Indian and Pakistani community. You're all Houston, Texas. You're all in the greater surrounding areas. We want to all bond together and make change. We want to be the change. We know that we have changes we want to see within our societies, and we know there's several of you guys who want to see change. I mean, every day we're seeing the gas prices. We're seeing crime, all kinds of crime. I see on Instagram and Facebook, well, guys are just losing their minds. We see the drug trade. We see the human trafficking trade. We see all kinds of things going on in our societies. I see I'm involved with a lot of groups on Facebook where it's community groups, it's community-oriented groups, and the community is upset, highly upset with the bonds that are set for some of the violent crimes that are going on in our cities. The violent criminals get right back out on the streets, and communities going, what the hell is going on? Why are you letting these people back out to commit more crimes? That could be a change that you want to see changed. There's Lisa, our right and left hand there. She has chimed in. Thank you for chiming in, Lisa. If you guys would like to call in tonight, the call-in number is on the bottom of the screen, 713-777-9595. That's 713-777-9595. Let's be the change we want to see within our communities. Let's become partners of purpose. This is P.O.P. This is P.O.P. And we are partners of purpose. We've already partnered up. I can't wait till we get the time to actually go out into the streets, actually set up shop. I don't care if it's on the corner of 1960 and I-45. I want to be live on the radio with a big sign that says, I'm a P.O.P.
Are you?
Are you? That's what our hats say. I'm not sure if you guys can see it. We're going to start putting merchandise out into the community. He has his on backwards. I have mine on forwards. And the front of the back of it says Partners of Purpose around the back of the crown of your head. And mine, I don't know if you can read it. Can they see that? I'm not sure. Mine says, I'm a P.O.P. RIP 1883. We'll get into that in just a few minutes if you don't already know. www.justiceforbrock.com. I'm a P.O.P. Are you? RIP 1883. I'm a P.O.P. Are you? And the website is going to be on the screen in just a second. I'll put the website up. On the side of the hat is the logo, the P.O.P. logo. Partners of Purpose, realtalk100radio.com is the website. Tune into this show every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. We're going to try to stick to that time because we're both tired tonight. We're tired tonight, y'all. Welcome. That number, once again, is 713-777-9595. Call in with any questions, any inquiries. Please, if you know any community leaders, no matter what side of Houston they're on, if you know any senators, any city councilmen, have them call in. We want to talk to them. If you know any policeman, the sheriff, the sheriff himself, the constable, no matter what precinct he's in, have them call in. Those are the people that we're trying to partner up with. Those are the people that we want to become P.O.P.s. We also want church leaders. The church leaders,
Right.
the church. We want our pastors of our mega churches, all the way down to the little churches. It doesn't have to be a mega church. We'd love to speak to the mega church because they're going to come with power, and sometimes the little churches pack power too, but y'all know where I'm going with that. The mega churches are going to come strong with their entire congregation. We want pastors to reach out to us, sheriff's departments, constable departments. We want community leaders. We want city councilmen. We don't care if it's Sheila Jackson Lee. We don't care who it is. Become a P.O.P. and help us. We can't do this alone.
Exactly. And with regards to the congressmen and women, if you go to the website, justiceforbrock.com, if you look on the Our Supporter link of the page, Justice for Brock and Our Supporters, you'll see hundreds of people who have already partnered with us and sent hundreds of letters to Congress to get the U.S. Justice Department involved. And thus far, we haven't had any response from Congress to actually get involved. In the coming weeks, I'm going to be reaching out to Congresswoman Sheila Jackson Lee, Congressman Al Green, and to invite them on the show to talk about what does it take to actually get them involved in exposing a major corporate cover-up such as this one. Because I'd like to see justice for William B. Brock.
Justice for William B. Brock. Let's talk about that for a second. I'm putting the website on the screen right now. And if you go to that website right there, go to go to Justice for Brock. That is Justice for Brock.com, and you'll find out everything you need to know behind the birth of this show. The birth of this show is all about Mr. T.W. Brock's father, ultimately now. But what he's done is he's taken his pain, his suffering, and focused it on a larger cause. Did I word that right?
That's it.
The larger cause is bringing the community together and affecting change. Because, quite frankly, if someone were involved in the community back in 1983, he wouldn't be sitting here right now. I probably wouldn't have met him if somebody was around in 1983 that was holding city officials, was holding executives accountable. You wouldn't be here.
If someone were well, someone was holding them accountable.
They were
William Brock.
Okay.
And William Brock got killed because he stood for the civil rights of other minorities.
Okay.
And when he got killed, based on if you go to the website, when my father died, his office was broken into, and his briefcase was stolen. What people weren't aware of is that because they were making threats on his life, he made copies of everything and sent them to different members of the family.
Smart man.
Okay. And when he died, like I said, there were threats on company letterhead. If you go to the website, on the homepage, for those who are actually on the page, on the homepage of the website, scroll down to, there's a blue link that says threats right there on the homepage. And that letter was CC'd to the U.S. Justice Department, the U.S. EEOC. James Short was the vice president of Volkswagen at the time. Dr. Carl Hahn was the president of Volkswagen. Bird Brown was the attorney for the VW Black Caucus. Yet there are court documents and newspaper articles that say that Volkswagen said that they categorically denied threatening him. How could they possibly get away with perjuring themselves in court when you've got a copy of a threat on company letterhead CC to the U.S. Justice Department? Why didn't at that point, when they were in court and they said that they categorically denied threatening him, how come they didn't receive a phone call from the U.S. Justice Department saying, "Hey, wait a minute, but we have a threat on a company letterhead where Mr. Brock was threatened"?
How can they deny that? How can they deny that?
So I'd like our congressman to reach out to the Justice Department and say, "Wait a minute, what's up with this?" You know, there were the other minorities were afraid to speak about, even to this date, 39 years later. If you reach out to anyone who's still living in Pittsburgh about in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where this took place, to any of the old the former employees who worked with my father, they're afraid to talk about it. Why? If he committed suicide, what are they afraid of?
Still to today.
Still to today.
Scared to talk about it.
I've reached out to former members of Volkswagen, of the Volkswagen Black Caucus, and I was told flat out, I can't help you with this, or I can't talk to you about this.
In 2022.
In 2021, okay, when I reached out to them. In 2019, when I reached out to them, they told me, I can't talk to you about this because I have a family. Well, my father had family too.
Right. He
died for you. In fact, when he was pressed by the family, 10 days before he died, he had a family meeting, and there's actually an article about it in the Boston Globe that he told family members he had just been approved for a $9 million venture. He was actually going to leave Volkswagen, and when pressed by his own family to leave immediately because of the death threats on his life, he told family members, "I can't do that because I've got people counting on me." Them same people, when I went to them to just talk about what are some of the things that they endured at the Volkswagen plant 39 years ago, told me, "I can't help you because I got a family." What are you afraid of? If he actually committed suicide, what are you afraid of?
People are strange. Humans are strange. They talk the talk. They talk fight, but they don't want to fight.
No, they don't. They don't want the real fight.
They don't want to fight for something that is going to benefit all of us. All of us have endured injustices in our families, injustices in our communities, and all we have to do sometimes, I'm not going to say all the times, but sometimes if we just stand up and say something as a unit, collectively, things will change. And that is what this show is about. Pop. Become a pop with us. Help us affect change. Don't just talk about fighting. Don't just talk about changing things. Don't just stand back and vote for someone and let them change things. No. We all know that we vote people in, they get up there on the stage and they promise this and they promise that. And then as soon as they get elected, what happens? They forget about all of their promises. This is one change that we, the people, can change collectively. We voted you in. You need to do what you said you were going to do, not what fills your pockets up. You need to do what the people need. Correct?
Correct. Watch this. You know, Texas is what they call, some people call it an at-will state. Some people call it a right to work state. They need to call it a right to get fired state. You know, but what, you know, what if we went to our politicians who actually, because Congress actually voted that in place. What if we went to Congress men and women and said to them, you know, do you see yourself as above the law or adherent to the law? Of course, they're going to tell you on camera that they feel that they're adherent to the law. Well, if you're adherent to the law, Mr. or Mrs. Congressman, since this is an at-will state, right? What if 50 of your constituents didn't like the way that you run things? Just 50 constituents signed a petition, then you're fired. No questions asked. No impeachment process for what?
Right.
I guarantee. No, because
just 50.
Just 50. Because
not a million.
Not a million. Because 50. Because here's the thing. If I know when I was a kid, you had to have a paper trail to fire someone.
Right.
Because you know, and I think that was a much better system because even in scripture, the Bible says, if thy brother offend thee, go to him, he and thee alone, and tell him. If he hears you, you've gained brother. If not, the word says, go and get 2 or 3 more so that every word might be established. If he still doesn't hear you, tell it to the church. If he still doesn't hear you, then put him out. That's what the word says.
Put him out.
That gives us, see, the process gives us an opportunity to examine ourselves and find out where we're going wrong. But if my employer says, well, I don't like your hairdo, and just since this is a right to what they call a right to work, I call it right to terminate. But you're fired. No questions asked. No impeachment process. No right to give me an opportunity, unless of course you have a union working with you. But even then, I think the process is still limited. But what if you, Mr. Politician, can write this law into place for everyone else? Why are you above that law?
It should not be that way. No one should be above the law. No one. Everyone should be held accountable. Just like if we break the law, I don't care if we jaywalk, they're trying to write us a ticket. But it's not like that with a politician. It's not like that with a city official. Mm-hmm. It's not like that with a lot of our community leaders. And, everybody needs to be held accountable. I mean, I hear about that. I hear about it all the time. Take some accountability. Take some accountability is what this show is really about. Don't just, like I said earlier, I hate to sound like a broken record, but a lot of us, we're guilty of voting people in. And then when they get in and don't do what they say, we cry and we moan and groan. And no, moaning and groaning is not going to do anything. You need to get together. You need to become a POP, a partner of purpose. And we collectively need to get together and hold these people accountable. Hold them accountable. who are some of the people, and I want you to direct it straight to our listening audience tonight. This is T.W. Brock, the founder of P.O.P, the founder of Partners of Purpose. I want you to talk straight to the community and tell them the kinds of problems that they might be having that they want to see change, because they might be sitting there going, well, is this included? I got a problem with the way my community is being run. I got a problem. Something's wrong with my community, but I don't know if I'm who they're talking to. So talk directly to the people that you want to reach to.
Well, I'd like to reach out to those of us who have problems with the way our law enforcement is not really enforcing the law or overstepping boundaries within the law. I'd like to reach out to community leaders who are I'd like to reach out to those who want to see more from our congressmen, our congressmen and women who talk the talk but don't walk the walk. I'd like to see. I'd like to partner with people who are not comfortable with the way Houston Metro is being run. The folks who ride the bus. If the bus drivers are ugly to you, if you'd like to see a more communicative environment, if you'd like to see buses go at greater distances, if you'd like to see our buses run longer, then let's partner. Let's work. Let's look for ways to work with Metro management to bring change in those areas. As big as this city is, as large as this city is, we should have a much better transportation system. And by the way, to those who are in Metro management, I really appreciate the way our Metro system is growing itself. But I think it would grow a lot faster and a lot further if we would partner with them and express to them that some of the areas where we'd like to partner with them to bring about those changes.
Exactly. And so exactly, I'm glad you said that, because a lot of people have been in my inbox and they said, "Are y'all going to be attacking government officials, attacking the police force?" No, that is not what this show is about. This show is about partnering with those entities, partnering with the police force, partnering with our community leaders, our congressmen, our senators, our city councilmen and city councilwomen to make things better. That's what we're trying to do.
That's right.
Because we think that if the community coming together with them, voicing what's wrong. Why is our society so screwed up? Voicing what's going on, I think they'll work with us. I think they'll be they'll be readily available. They'll make themselves readily available. Let me verbalize it like that. If we communicated to them better what our problems were.
And not just what our problems were, but what we like about the organization. One of the things that Metro Management can vouch for with me is that I've actually called in and sat on the phone for half an hour to get through to Metro Management, not just to complain, but to talk about things I like about the city management and the drivers and how they handled challenges that they've incurred on the buses and on the routes. Because if we're always complaining about what they do wrong, I don't know if for those of us who've ever been in a relationship with the opposite sex, sometimes I know for me it drives me nuts if a woman all she does is talk about, you need to fix this and you need to fix that. What am I doing right? Am I doing anything right?
There you go.
And I think the same is true with management in city, with management in government. And it's actually one of the things I learned from my pop, who I've never actually met because he died when I was too young. But I learned from the things that he from the letters he wrote to Volkswagen management, from the things that he actually wrote to team leaders and the president of Volkswagen, where he talked about the things that they did right.
There you go. You have to always, I don't care if you're in a relationship, man and woman, man and man, woman and woman. I don't care if you're at work talking to your supervisor or your supervisor's talking to you. I don't care if you're talking to kids, and we have that. We're guilty of that. All of us are. Even me, when I'm at home and I'm with the kids, I don't never say what they did right. But I'm not, let me rephrase.
Mm-hmm.
I don't say what they did right enough. I do say, from time to time, great job, good job on the kitchen, good job on the bathroom. But 90% of the time, I think we're all guilty of that. 90% of the time, we're looking at, why didn't you comb your hair? Why didn't you brush your teeth? Why didn't you make your bed up? Why didn't you take the dogs out? Instead of saying, hey, you did a wonderful job. Your report card was awesome. I'm glad you're doing good in school, but I need to talk to you. Can you come sit down with me? You're not doing a good job with the dogs. I came into the house today and, the dog had used the bathroom on the floor, and that's not good. Balance it.
Mm-hmm.
Balance it. And I think if we balance our approach when we approach congressmen, because I see a lot of videos, it's protesting and it's, you go to hell or you need to be in jail or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's balance it. Let's come at them and say, we have concerns, Mr. Congressman. You're doing a wonderful job in a lot of areas, but this 10% over here, 20%, you're neglecting us.
And not only you're neglecting us, but I think that if we partner together, we can come up with an idea that will satisfy the community together. Because, Mr. Congressman, you don't have all of the ducks in a row. You don't know everything, and neither do I. But if we try things together, we can find the answers together.
Right.
Because understand this: when I'll share this with everyone who's watching me on the other end of that lens, know that every relationship. When I used to preach, I would always bring this up. Every relationship, from pulpit to door, will experience difficulty. But it's not the difficulty that determines the outcome. It's how we handle the difficulty.
Thank you, Courtney. There's Courtney. Lines tapping in. Y'all, she is a member of Real Talk 100 Radio. They have a show on Thursday nights. It's called What Up Radio. What Up Radio. Y'all tune in every Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. They love talking about mental health issues. Last night, we had a guy in here with infused honey, and we were in here talking about addictions. They have a lot of deep topics on that show every Thursday night from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. She's just letting you know that she shared the video and she's tapped in with us tonight. That is another member of Real Talk 100 Radio right there. We also have Loving Me right here. I can't read what she says. Hold on. I'm enlarging the screen now. Make shareable. It should be shareable. Don't know why it's not shareable. It definitely should be shareable, Loving Me. Try again or go to, I'm not sure what page you're on. Go to Malcolm Lewis Jackson. Go to my page, my personal page. Go to Real Talk 100 Radio. Or go to Partners of Purpose, the page, and it should be shareable all over. Thank y'all for tuning in. Please continue sharing the video worldwide. This is a worldwide issue. I think you see protests all over the world. You see riots all over the world. And I think, we think on the POP, we think us POPs, us Partners of Purpose think that if the approach was different when you had a problem, whether it's in a relationship, whether it's with the police department, and we know a lot of us have a problem with the police department. We know that they do a lot of wrong. There are a lot of police officers on the force that are on the right side. There's a lot of police officers that are on the left side doing the wrong thing. And what happens a lot of times is these police officers on the right side are scared to make a move because the guys on the left that are doing all the wrong are gonna, they're gonna ban them. They're gonna ostracize them. They're gonna cut them out. They're gonna call them snitches, and they're gonna be the bad guys, inside the police force.
Mm-hmm.
So those guys don't like making moves against their partners. But guess what? If the community's involved, saying, "Hey, that guy did this, and this guy was the good guy,"
Mm-hmm.
hey, things might change. I'm not saying we have the answers,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a way to make things better within our police forces. There's a way to make things better up on Capitol Hill in Austin.
Mm-hmm.
There's a way to make things better with all these potholes in Houston. As TW said earlier, there's a way to make things better with the Metro bus system for the people who don't have transportation, can't afford it, and the only thing they can afford is a bus. TW says changes need to be made to the Metro bus system. If you have a change that you would like made to within your community, whether you're in the Black community, the Caucasian community, the Asian community, no matter what community you're in, whether you're Black, white, Hispanic, or Caucasian, Asian, Indian, if you live in Houston or the greater surrounding areas, we have this show accessible to you. We're making ourselves accessible to you so you can become a POP. A POP is a partner of purpose. A partner of purpose wants to affect change within our respective communities.
Amen. Well put.
I'm trying. I'm trying. You got me tongue-tying myself with the POP. He wants me to say, "Welcome to POP," instead of "Welcome to Partners of Purpose." And I'm so acclimated to saying first what it is. Anyway, this is the founder of Partners of Purpose. This is the founder of POP, Mr. T.W. Brock. This show was a brainchild. I'll give y'all a little history right quick before I give the microphone back to T.W. Brock. This show was a brainchild of him. He called, he texted, and he was all over me there for a minute. And I was just like, who is this crazy man? He was persistent. And, we get a lot of private messages. We get a lot of texts. So I'm not going to lie. I was brushing him off because I'm like, hey, this guy's crazy. He won't stay out of my inbox. So finally, finally, he said, just give me a minute, click to my website. I'm going to put the website back on the screen in just a second. And when I clicked to that website, the world opened up. The whole world, I was just like, wow, okay, this guy is not crazy. This guy knows exactly what he's talking about. He knows exactly what he's after. And I need to pay attention. So I calmed down and I said that little bit of history because I want you guys to go and I want you to check his website out. His website is the reason for this show. And then there's a broader perspective because of this website. Am I verbalizing that right?
Absolutely.
You put it in your words for me because I know I'm screwing up. I'm trying to multitask.
Doctor, it's all good. What Malcolm is trying to relay to the public is that POP is it came into fruition out of my desire to get justice for William B. Brock. Justice for Brock was my father. Mr. William B. Brock was my father. He was murdered, and it's being covered up. He was murdered, and the authorities will try to have you believe that he committed suicide. But I mean, let's think about this for a moment. If you were 31 years old and you were just about to, at the end of the month, walk into a paycheck for $9 million. Okay, my father had just been approved for a $9 million loan to purchase a Hilton hotel at the age of 31. Okay, he already had his own business. He was running for mayor in the city in which he resided. He had joined a $70 million class action discrimination lawsuit against Volkswagen, the auto manufacturer, because they had tried to, court documents indicated that they had actually tried to blackmail him with knowingly false information in an effort to convince him to coerce the others to back out of the lawsuit. I mean, think about that for a moment. How does a left-handed man take a 38 pistol with an 8-inch barrel and shoot himself in the back of the right side of the head? That's not even physically possible. Any idiot with half a brain would look at this and say, wait a minute.
Something's wrong.
Something's wrong with this. I mean, the bullet entered, ladies and gentlemen, just above his right ear and exited the top of his head. Let's just say out of some strange reason that he, some strange phenomena, I'm going to try and commit suicide with my left hand, okay? Why would I struggle to, I mean, think about it. With an 8-inch barrel, he would have had to have a downward angle. The bullet would have come out somewhere down here.
Yes, sir.
Not the top of his head.
No, sir.
And then he fought for like 8 hours before he finally passed away. Earlier that day, he told a friend of his he was selling his Audi because he just bought a Porsche. He told another friend, I'll see you at the meeting on Monday. This doesn't even sound like someone who would go home and shoot himself.
No, sir. Not at all. Not at all. And that is what opened my eyes. This website right here on the screen will give you a lot of the history that TW is discussing right now. A lot of it. If you have any questions whatsoever, please read through the website and then contact TW Brock on Facebook. Contact him at 833.
Do it for Pop.
833 do it for Pop. And that number often screws me up because I don't know, the old school numbers. The old school phones had A, B, C, D, E, F, G on the key card, but our phones don't. So when I'm
they do. If you go to the key card, it does.
The phone?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna check it out right now.
Check it out right now. Go to
I'm
your phone, pull up the key, there you go.
Have mercy. I never pay attention to that. I'm so used to I'm so used to people's numbers being dialed, automatically saved. And 833 do it for
the number 4.
The number 4?
Yeah, the number 4. Do it. The number 4 Pop.
P.O.P. P.O.P.
There you go.
Now, a lot of you guys are going to dial this number and you're going to say, wait a minute, that's too many numbers. So he tells me all the time that when you dial it, that last number is going to fall off. Let me see what happens here.
Go ahead and put it on speakerphone.
It's
down up on the phone.
It's not ringing.
Watch out. I do it on my phone. Let me see.
Dial that number and get in contact with him. He's going to, but first of all, we want you to go to the website, Justice for Brock. Justice for Brock. Who is Brock? Who are we getting justice for? Justice is for his father. That is what this show was founded behind, the untimely death and unexplained death of his father in 1983. That is what.
Thank you for calling Pop Can Stop, helping us to get justice for William B. Brock. For more information, visit us online at justiceforbrock.com. That's JUSTICEFORBROCK.com. If you'd like to leave a donation to help get justice for Brock, please click on either the Cash App or the GoFundMe link at the top of the page. Please leave your name, number, and a brief message, and we'll return your call as soon as possible.
Justice for Brock.
833
Do it for Pop.
Do it for Pop. 833 Do it for Pop. Do it, the number 4. Do it for Brock. 833 Do it for Brock.
Actually, it's Do it for Pop.
Do it for Pop.
Pop. P.O.P. On top of the hat. Do it for Pop.
Every show I'm screwing up something.
It's all good.
833
Do it for Pop.
Do it for Pop. 833 Do it for Pop. Not, I keep holding up the 4 because I want you guys to make sure you type in 4, not F-O-R.
Right, not F-O-R, but the number 4.
There you go. Check that website out, Justice for Brock. It'll tell you a lot. It opened my eyes. It invited Mr. T.W. Brock into our lives. I invited him. I told him, hey, man, we're going to make a show about this. I'm going to stand right beside you through this whole journey because you impressed me with that website. That website, I'm looking at it, I'm reading it, and he's saying, okay, hold on. Before you go to the next paragraph, I want you to hit that hyperlink right there. He's going to walk you through it if you call him. If you call him, he'll walk you through it too. And it'll shed a lot of light on why he's fighting for all of us now, through his dad. His dad is the reason he wants to now fight for our communities, our respective communities. He wants to help you fight for your rights because his dad can't fight for his.
And my father, get this, ladies and gentlemen, was the ripe young age of 31 when he died. 31. Can you imagine what he would have accomplished if he was still alive today?
I can. If he was doing that in 83, my dad was in corporate America in 83.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad told me nightmares that were going on, especially for black men in 83. We were, 14 years past the assassination, I believe, of Martin Luther King. 14 years. There was a lot of racism still going on. My dad has many nightmares. He was in corporate America making a lot of money because he was a very smart man too. So he told me the nightmares. So if he was doing that in 83 and he had a $9 million check coming to him in 1983, I can just imagine what he would be doing right now.
And you know what? My father didn't go to Volkswagen for employment. They actually sent a limo to his job.
Wow.
Took him to dinner, made him a job offer.
Wow.
They recruited him to clean up the racism at their plant.
Amazing.
My father wrote their employment opportunity. What is it? That he wrote their
EEOC.
Their EEOC. That's right. At the age of 27.
That's amazing.
When they invited him on.
That is amazing that a major corporation, and we all know that many of them, I dare say 99% of them in 1983 were run by, white America. And and it was probably riddled with racism, and they called a black man to clean up racism. That is amazing.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I'm very proud and impressed by my father. Very proud and impressed.
Amazing. I wish I could have met him. We're at the end of our show tonight, y'all. We're at the end of our show. We're going to be here every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on P.O.P. That stands for Partners of Purpose. And we're on this show because we're reaching out into the community because we want other members. Bless you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
We want other members of P.O.P. because we can't do it alone. We can't stand against this machine alone. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't do it. We can't stand for the white community if we don't know the white community's problems. We need the white community here talking to us so we can effectively and collectively stand up together for your problems, stand up for the black community's problems. I had a lady reach out to me about 2 weeks ago, and she said, Malcolm, y'all are doing a great job. I never met this woman before. She's I post to groups on Facebook all the time. And she said, y'all are doing a great job. But one thing, you always say y'all are a community radio station. One thing a community radio station needs to do is, and that y'all aren't doing yet. I'm not saying it's not in your plans, but y'all aren't doing yet. And that is bridging the gap, between races. That's the problem she wants to see fixed.
Okay.
Bridging the gap between races in her own neighborhood. She says it's bad in her own neighborhood. So she said, y'all have the right plan in motion. But if y'all could do that, that would be a great start because we're in our own neighborhoods and we can't even get along at the swimming pool. We had a problem the other day with where a group of black kids were obviously skipping school and they were vandalizing mailboxes. So somebody got on the neighborhood group page and said, hey, I'm just picked up my kid from school. They're on the phone. I just picked up my kid from school and I saw a bunch of black kids. She didn't mean anything racist by it. She was just giving a description of the kid so other parents and law enforcement will know what's going on. It caused all kinds of debates and hostile debates because she called them black kids.
Wow.
Stuff like that. But anyway, y'all, this is all about your problems, my problems, T.W. Brock's problems, our community's problems. We want to all get together collectively and fix these problems. Fix them together. Whether it's a problem with the police force, a problem with your black next door neighbor, your problem with your white next door neighbor, a problem with your Hispanic next door neighbor, we want to bring the community together. That's what we're here for on P.O.P.
Real talk.
We want partners of purpose. That's what P.O.P. stands for. We want you to become a partner of purpose. We don't care if we've got 1 million members. That's what we're after. We want 1 million members to all be standing together on Capitol Hill to fix our problems. To fix our problems with the police force.
That's right.
To fix our problems, we all need to be standing together. To fix our problems, we all need to be standing together and telling that congressman or that city councilman, hey, we didn't elect you to get in there and fill your pockets up. We elected you to take care of the community issues.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Real talk.
Bam.
That's all we got for this week, y'all. I'm going to let T.W. Brock close it, but we want y'all to join us every Friday night from 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. on P.O.P.
Real talk. And we'd like also, come on, shut us down. We'd also like for you, not just to join us, but we'd like for you to participate. Okay? Come on, become partners with us, and let's work together to bring change as a community and figure out why it is that America kills their own. Not just kills their own with gunshot, but kills their own with the lack of partnership, the lack of community, the lack of working together. All right?
And as y'all see, Mr. JFK is right there in the middle. This is not a black thing. This is a human thing. This is an American thing. We want to affect change. We want to know why America and corporate America allowed Mr. T.W. Brock's father to be murdered and then cover it up. There's a lot of cover-ups in America, and we want to affect change. We want to know why. Why is America killing Americans on the P.O.P. show?
All right.
Good night.
Good night.
And we'll see y'all next
See y'all
week.
next week.
Bye-bye. I sounded like Walter Cronkite.